Look around you. What do you see? What do you really see? There's no right answer to this question. I'm not leading you to a specific conclusion. I'm just inviting you to explore. When we look out into the world, we often apply labels to objects. We say, I see a chair, I see a computer screen, I see a window, I see the sky. But what do you see without these labels? We often apply relationships to our experience as well. This is my house, my bedroom. This is my body. That's someone else's car. That's the sky that belongs to the earth. We imply relationships all the time in the way we process when we process conceptually. But are you able to actually see what's in front of your face without applying labels and without applying relational context? I would argue that you're actually able to do both at the same time, and probably, well, not probably, almost certainly everyone is doing both to some degree. But I would say before any deep exploration into the nature of identity, the former, or the part of us that is constantly applying labels and interpretations and relational context, is 99% of our experience. And that seeing what's really occurring, or what's really here, or what's really appearing, is a very small percentage, 1% of our experience. As we start to wake up, or sometimes when we have breakthrough experiences, we recognize that there's something else here that is not context. It is not relational. It is not anything that a label can affix itself to. In fact, what we're seeing isn't even physical in the usual way of talking about physical. It doesn't have division between objects. It doesn't have division between subject and object. There's nothing here that we can put into the framework of the mind, of the thought process. And that is available and obvious, actually, to everyone at some level. It's just that the mind moves very quickly, and that we're addicted to thought. So we give preference to thought almost all day long. So this is an encouragement or an invitation to see if you can simultaneously recognize the contexts, and a lot of those contexts point back to a me, or a central sense of self that says, this is mine, my day, my time, my house, my bedroom, my shoes, my problem, my thoughts, my emotions. We can see that that is part of our experience. And at the same time, there's something that is, let's say, impersonal, that doesn't have a relational quality that relates back to a self. It's just what's appearing, just simple experience. And the five senses are a great way to explore that. In hearing, just sound. Listen, it's just that pure sound. Does that pure sound have a mine and a yours in it? Does that pure sound have skepticism? Does that pure sound have doubt? Does that pure sound originate somewhere? Does it come and go? Or is it just pure sound? Similar to that, we can go into the body sensations. Pure sensing, pure feeling. In those pure sensations, is there life or death, good or evil, large or small, near or far, relative or absolute? Or is there just the senses, just what's experienced purely, directly, unequivocally? And in the scenery, the colors and the forms before your eyes. When we don't apply labels, and this is probably the hardest of the three, or the hardest of the five, depending on what senses you're considering. But it's possible to notice that you don't have to apply labels, including labels of green, yellow, blue, purple, including labels of square, round, far, near. You can just take in that visual scenery without any labels, without any constructs, without any interpretations, without any context. And it starts to feel non-dualistic, without boundary, without form or location. In that way, it engulfs the sense of self. So there's no sense of a self apart from the visual experience, and there's no sense of the visual experience standing on its own out there. That distinction falls away, or those two distinctions fall away into, well, this pure visual experience. So can you live in this pure experience, pure sound, pure sensation, pure visual experience, pure movement, pure consciousness? Can you live this way? And the answer is yes, for sure. How do you do that? Don't grab onto those contexts. Don't grab onto labels. Don't try to solidify experience. Don't try to put experience together into a thought or a concept or a summary. So this is a kind of vulnerability, openness, rawness. It's a trust in the sensations, trust in the sounds, trust in the forms and the formless, a trust in letting go into what is and what is not, what is moving and what is still, seeing where they cross over, where they touch, intermingle, interpenetrate, letting that carry itself on into its own depths. The realization will carry itself on this way, will clarify itself. Just don't solidify. Don't settle for an interpretation or a label. Don't recreate a sense of a separate self because you didn't need it in the first place. It's completely unnecessary. And by seeing what's here, feeling what's here, hearing what's here, you can remind yourself of this again and again. No context, no interpretation, no labels, no boundaries, no edge, no center, no top or bottom, no origin or point of departure, no inside, no outside, no entry point, no exit point.